So thank you all for coming. This is modules. If you build them, they will come. So just a quick introduction. My name is Mallory Alvarez. I am the Canvas/instructional technology support for Palo Alto campus. And here is all my contact information. Feel free to put your questions in the chat. So here's going to be a quick timeline of what I'm going to be covering when it deals with the modules. And I just want to let you guys know that this session has nothing to do with pedagogy. All I'm going to be explaining is how this tool in Canvas may be useful to you and you might find this tool as something that you would like to utilize in future courses. So this has nothing to do with pedagogy, just going over the tools that are available in Canvas. So let's get started. What are modules? Well, that's such a good question. Thank you for asking that. So here's the definition of what Canvas describes as a module. Modules are used to organize course content by weeks, units, topics, or whatever organizational structure works for your course. With modules, you are essentially creating a one-directional line flow of what you would like your students to do. And once you create modules, you can add content items, set prerequisites, and add requirements. So in other words, modules are like a bookshelf. Your assignments, discussions, and quizzes are like your books. And you can place these in any particular type of order. So that's a visual that can kind of break down the purpose of a module. It's just to hold information in a certain order. So before I start moving on some of the benefits of modules, do we have any questions? No? All right.
Oh, Peter has his hand up.
Okay.
Peter.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. I have my
I had mine on mute.
videos minimized. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, my question is that I've been using assignments and not using modules. And what I'm attempting to do with my course is attempting to put in my assignments under the rubrics of the modules and then deleting the assignments. When I'm talking about the assignments, that section that students see. So when I attempted to move the assignments into the modules, and then when I deleted the assignment, I did this once, then I lost it in the module.
Okay, so you have to understand that when you delete an assignment or if you delete anything that you put inside the module, that's if you took the book off the shelf and threw it away.
Right.
So if you want to use the modules, all you would need to do is to hide the assignment button that's in the navigation bar from the students. And you would go to your settings and you would click and drag assignments so that way they're disabled so students only see the module button to click on.
Okay, because I don't want them to be able to have both modules and assignments. I'm trying to and what I did it the first time, which is kind of like, oh my God, I lost my assignment. Fortunately, I had it someplace else but I just wanted to make sure. So I do have to keep it. I still have to have stuff in the materials in the assignments. I just hide that icon from the students being able to access assignments. They go straight to the modules.
Yes, and the same thing would go if you use quizzes or discussions. You would hide those as well if you plan on having them inside your module.
Okay, I had a question about quizzes too, but I know this doesn't, can I just ask the quiz question?
Sure.
My quiz question is, I have changed the point system for the quizzes. So right now my quizzes are worth like 10 points each. What I'm attempting, which each quiz question is worth like a 0.4. I want every quiz question now to be worth 1 point. What I've noticed is how do I change it without having to go through each question to go from 0.4 to 1 point for each quiz? Can I just somehow magically go from the quiz is worth 10 points, but for this semester, I want the quiz to be worth 25 points. Do I have to go through every one of my multiple choice questions and go 0.4 to equal to 1 for each one of my quizzes? Or is there some type of way that I could just put it in some place within Canvas to say, I want it to be 1 point each rather than 0.4?
Yeah, you would have to go and change it per question
Okay.
because the quizzes, the points of the quizzes don't get added up until you're done putting the point value to each question.
So there's no shortcut to do that.
No, but once you do, you don't have to do it again.
Okay. Well, I know what I'm doing this afternoon then. Okay. Because I got 300 questions that I have to go 0 point. I know it's back and forth, but I was trying to see if there was some type of magic button that you just push here and poof. Okay. Well, thank you.
No, but if I invent it, I will be sure to give you 10%.
Well, I appreciate that because that would be really make my life a little easier. But it's easy to do, but it's just going to be a little time consuming. All right.
Tedious, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mallory. I appreciate
Yeah, of course.
it. Okay.
Great question. Was there anybody else who had a question about the definition of Canvas? I mean, the definition of modules and the comparison to a module as a bookshelf? No? Okay. If you don't mind, I want to take this time right now if I could quickly add Julie, who has as a co-host, so that way I can have her help me out with the chat. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here.
Okay, there we go. All right. So now we're going to move on to the benefits of using modules. So what I did was I kind of created this little video that walks you through a Canvas course with and without modules. So that way you just kind of get a visual description of what it is or how modules can be utilized in a Canvas course. And I created this little video, and I really want you to kind of see how the Canvas course, not having modules in a Canvas course kind of disrupt the flow or direction of information. And that's what this kind of video does, a quick little compare and contrast of the same Canvas course with modules and without modules. So let me play this short little video for you. The purpose of this video is to do a comparison between having your Canvas course set up using modules versus having your Canvas course through the use of just assignments, quizzes, and discussions. So first I'm going to show you what it would look like if I had a module. So this is what my modules would look like, and it's a combination of pages of information as well as discussions, even readings and quizzes and assessments. And what makes modules so interesting is that it creates a flow of information for students to go through, and it gives them a kind of like a series of steps to follow. Whereas if I just had my assignments and I did not use modules, you can see that all I would be getting is the assignments, and I lose that flow of information. So my students don't get to see a preview video and then followed by a discussion. All they would see is just the assignments. And then if they wanted to see a discussion, they would have to scroll down to discussions, and then they would have to scroll down to quizzes or an essay. And then that flow of order that I've created becomes lost, and that becomes a little bit more complicated for the student. So think of the use of just assignments as just tearing out the questions for students to work on in a textbook. They lose all that prior information that you may have laid out for them to view, but separate from just an assignment. Okay, so in the video, I give the example of just assignments is just ripping out the questions and giving them to the students, and they kind of miss out on any kind of prior information that could lead them up to understanding the assignment a lot better. So that's just a short little video here. And what I did was I took images of the student view of what they would see. So this is my student view of that same Canvas course. And you can see the student sees, okay, Here's my course orientation, information. Oh, so this is everything I have to do in week 1. My teacher's laying out what's to be expected. I'm given a meet and greet discussion assignment. I'm told to sign into my BioSig ID. I'm given my first assignment, which is about some background information. My instructor gives me an example of a reading that they want me to, and so forth. You get the idea of how a module can be very useful. And then, of course, this is the same Canvas course in a student view without modules. You see it kind of disconnects and it just puts all the assignments together. So before I move on to creating modules in Canvas, did anybody have any questions? No? Okay. So here we go. So what I did was I created a short video on how you can insert modules into a Canvas. So in this video, I'm giving direction on creating modules in a blank Canvas shell. So this is an image of what a blank Canvas shell looks like. It has nothing in there, absolutely nothing. If you do not plan on importing anything into this Canvas course, I would recommend following these steps to start creating these modules. If you do, however, already have a Canvas started because you pulled in maybe a template from a previous year or you imported a Canvas course, I have another video that I created that kind of gives instructions of adding modules to an imported Canvas course. And I use the example of building modules off the pack template. And the same steps that I use in adding additional models to the pack template can also be utilized in any imported Canvas course. And then if you do have a blank Canvas shell and you would prefer to start building your modules from the template, I gave an additional video right here that kind of lays out how you would pull the pack template into your empty Canvas shell. So real quick, I will just play one of these videos, and since a majority of instructors have a tendency to, build and import a Canvas course, I'm going to play the video about adding modules into a pack template. But before I start playing, do we have any questions? Okay, so again, I had put the presentation in the chat, and I will do it again in case someone didn't have a chance to pull from the chat. So you can always go back and replay the extra videos that I had skipped. So let me start. The purpose of this video is to walk you through how you can edit and add modules to a recently downloaded Pack Canvas template. So please keep in mind I've already gone through the steps of downloading this template to my Canvas course. If you would like to know how to download the Pack Canvas template, please refer to our TLC YouTube channel. So here I'm going to go straight to modules. Now that I've downloaded this Canvas template, I see that I have a whole new section of information. This right here is just for my eyes only, which is why it's unpublished. And then I have a module already set up for my Start Here course orientation. I have module examples. Now these are the examples that I'm going to probably want to go in and edit. So right here, I would click these 3 buttons and I would select Edit, and this would allow me to rename my module. So for example, if I wanted to organize this as week 1, I can make that selection. There are 2 ways to go about this. One, I can remove this, or 2, I can edit this. Now, please keep in mind that this symbol right here lets me know that this is a page. So a page of information. This one is... I'm sorry, someone is calling. I need to turn this off real quick. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. There's also a page of information, and then we have a quiz. And then we also have a discussion and an assignment and another page of information. So if I wanted to, if I plan on just having a page to start off with, all I would have to do is make some edits here. So I can just make this simply preview because I want to put a page of information that's going to give students a preview for week 1. And then say I want the next thing to be a discussion. So I just simply have to move this up, and I can edit this meet and greet. So I'm going to make that a meet and greet assignment for my students. And I can just keep going through and making all of these adjustments. If you wanted to add something new to a module, you'll just simply click this plus sign. And I can add a new assignment, a quiz, a page, or a discussion. Keep in mind, if you already have assignments that have already been pre-made, you'd be able to make those selections. But in this case, I'm going to do a new assignment. I'm just going to call this rough draft, just for the example. Click Add Item. Now, once I've already started to build up my module, I can go in, click each individual item, and edit the information that is posted inside the item. When I'm done making my edits, I would click Save. Once you've finished creating your modules, you can easily copy any of these modules to a different Canvas course. You can easily copy this over into a different Canvas course. You would just type parts of the course title here and it will pull up. Now, if there's something in this template that you don't want at all, you can simply click these 3 dots right here and select Delete. Now that module is taken out of the template. So you can continue to add and edit or delete the rest of the modules, and you will slowly start to build up your Canvas course. Okay, so that was a video that kind of started giving you directions from a Canvas course that already has a template. So before I move on to editing modules, do we have any questions about creating modules, whether in an empty Canvas shell or in a template? All right, so let's move on to editing modules. This is one of the really big benefits that I find to be the most useful out of having modules in a Canvas course. So real quick, when you edit modules in a Canvas, you have 3 options available. You can use any of these, or you could even use all of these. And when you edit your module, you're able to lock modules. And when you lock a module, what you can do is on your end, you can see the module, but on the student's end, they can't see it. It's locked. All they would see is a title, and then they would see not available. And what that means is that you would lock your module until a given date, that students cannot view or access this module until that date has come to pass. Another option is you could add prerequisites. So for example, say you have your course orientation module, and then week 1, you can have it to where that week 1 module is going to be locked to the student until they finish going through and clicking everything in the course orientation. And what that does is, because you added a prerequisite, this module is locked until the student completes the required items you selected from the prior module. So if my prior module is my orientation course information, in my week 1, I can set it to where student can't even see anything in week 1 until they have gone through the course orientation. But keep in mind, you can't use added prerequisites if it's the first module in your course. I can't put an add prerequisite in my course orientation because there's no module ahead of it, if that makes any sense. And then another one, which is my favorite one, is add requirements. So you can allow students to complete selected items in any order or sequential order. And there are 5 options to choose from. You can have them, they have to go through everything to view the item, which means they just click on it to look at it, or they have to click on it and then mark it as done, or you can have it to where they have to contribute to the page, meaning, you know, there's something that they have to respond to. Or if it's an assignment, you could have, this is going to be locked until they submit the assignment. And all that does is, it's a great way to know that your students aren't skipping anything in your module. And I think that one is probably the most popular option available to you. And then I created this little video that walks you through these options, and as well as the, I believe, the student view of what that would look like with any of these added into a module. So before I push play on any of this, does anybody have any questions? Nope? Okay, so let me push play on that. Here are the steps you would need to follow if you would like to edit your modules. In this Canvas course, I would like to edit my modules. So I would click on modules. If you see these 3 dots in the corner of any module, you can click on it and it says edit. You are given some options to choose from. The first one is you can say lock until. So what this means is that you can choose when to unlock the module for students. So students can't view anything, they can't click on anything until you select a date and time in which that module can be made available. Another option is requirements. One of the great things that you also have the ability to do is require students to move through the items in the module in sequential order. So they can't move on to item B until they've done item A. So I'm going to click on this, and right here I can add the requirements that I am requesting. So after they're done with the overview, I want them to do the module, and then last but not least, the module summary. Now for the discussion, I don't want them just to view the discussion, I want them to contribute to the page or submit the assignment. So once you've set up these types of selections, you would then click Update Module. So now all my modules are locked. Now if I go to the student view, when I click on modules, I can see that the only thing I can click on is the first item. This is a great option for you to make sure that students are following through and not skipping over any of the items in the module. Okay, so do we have any questions about this? All right, so just so you know, this was a very short presentation. It just really focused on defining modules, talking about the benefits of modules, and then of course the breakdown of creating a module from a blank Canvas course to creating the modules with a Canvas course already containing information. And then last but not least, how you can edit these modules, which can give added benefits in how you would like the students to go through information in your course. And without further ado, I also welcome all of you to please fill out our survey. The TLC wants to know what we can do to make things better for you. Any information that you provide really helps us for any future sessions or videos that can be useful to you.
Thank you, Mallory.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put a link to the survey in the chat in just a second, but Aurora has a question in the chat.
Yeah.
How does a mark as done look? What's it look like for the student?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I showed that. So mark as done is if it looks very similar to if I pull up the video footage and I'll scan through so I can pause it on the student view. Okay. So what happens is that if you have it marked as done, that's going to be all the student has to do is click that item open, and at the end of the item, there's going to be a button there that says, done or completed. So that's going to be an extra step. Whereas the other option which was just to give a view of it. All the student has to do is click on it, and then they can go to the next thing. Whereas if you have them mark it as done, it's just an extra additional step that they have to do to kind of slow them down before the next item would be made available. Great question. Do we have any more? Okay, so real quick, I'm going to add the presentation in the chat. So I know some of us were coming in from different sessions, and just in case you didn't have a chance to pull this from the chat, I will add it one more time just for good measure. And feel free to save this PDF because it has all the videos and everything that you click on. It has all the videos and everything that was seen in the session. And Julie was very kind enough to already put the survey link in the chat. And also I want to promote our TLC YouTube channel. If you would please subscribe. And there are all kinds of really great items for you to kind of pick and choose. And it's all organized by playlist as well. And thank you all for coming.
Just to